Hey guys, welcome back to another video training on Linux security. In this video, I'm going to show you how to change your default SSH port, which is port 22. If you have not watched my previous videos, go ahead and watch those videos because I covered a lot in those series. So today, we'll be changing our default SSH port. After that, we'll be installing fail to ban in our next video. So to change your default port, open your terminal. If you are using PuTTY, there's no problem. So we want to log into our server in order to change this. So put SSH, enter your username, at your IP address, enter your IP address. Now, the default port for our SSH connection is port 22, right? Is default, and hackers know this. Because of that, I want to change it to a different port. Even if you did not put this port 22 and you leave it like this and you try to connect, it's still going to be successful because that's the default port and we are logged in without entering a password. And I taught you how to create SSH keys or generate SSH keys to disable the root login for your Linux server, which is important. If you have not watched that video, go back and watch that video. It's a good practice to log into your server using SSH keys. So we've logged in with the default port, which is port 22. All right, let me disconnect, okay, and show you. So I'll just clear my screen and I'll enter the same command, SSH username at IP address. This time I'm going to put port 22, hit enter, and we're going to get the same results because port 22 is the default port. You see that? So the way we change that is we want to navigate to the etc directory. So I'll just list the content that is here, all right, and then we go into the etc directory. So let's just go back one level. So I'll take you back one level and we're going to list again, right? So let's continue one more time, list, and we are here. Now let's go into the etc directory, which is this one, as it contains most of the configurations files. So the way we go there is we get cd into the etc directory, we list it, and we're going to see a file called SSH, all right, a folder called or a directory called SSH, which is here. So this is where we want to do change our SSH port. So we have to go inside, all right, let's go inside that file, or sorry, that directory. So just put SSH, hit enter, and we're inside that one. Now we want to list the content. After that, we're looking for a file called sshd_config because this is the file we want to change, or this is where our port is, our SSH port is, our SSH configuration file. So the way we edit that is we simply put sudo, as you're not a complete sudo user. So you just put sudo. After that, we put nano because we're going to use the nano text editor. So we type sudo nano because we want to use the nano text editor. After that, we'll mention the name of the file, all right? So just type sshd, hit tab, and it's going to pre-fill the rest for us, all right? So from there, we'll simply hit enter, enter our server password, all right, our root password. So when you enter that, it's going to open this file using this text editor. So I enter my password. I entered my password. Now hit enter, and this is our configuration file. Now we want to scroll down to the part we see port. So this is the area, and we'll remove this and change this 22 to something like port 75. All right, so when you're using these numbers, make sure that this port is not in use by any of your programs. After that, what we want to do is we want to hold down Ctrl S to save our changes. After that, Ctrl X to exit. Now we're going to restart SSH. So the way we do that is you just put sudo systemctl, all right, so system control. After that, we are going to type restart, all right, so we're restarting SSH. You can add D to it. After that, what we do is we hit enter, and SSH is restarted. Now we want to make sure port 77 is opened. If not, when we want to connect, we're going to have hard time connecting. So the way we do that is we want to use UFW to add that port to the list. If not, connecting will not be possible. So the way we do that is we want to make sure we do sudo UFW allow, right, allow port 75. All right, so that port we want to allow it. So once we do that, just hit enter, and this port will be added. Now when you go to connect on a different terminal window, you should be able to connect via our new port, which is port 75. So the way we do that is we want to make sure we type SSH username at our IP, and because port 22 is blocked, if you try logging in through port 22 or the default port 22, you're going to get an error because this port, so you see you're going to get connection refuse error. So the way we connect is we just put P and specify our new port, which is 75. Now we hit enter, and this way it should be able to connect us to our server. And success, we are successfully connected to our Linux server. So in my next video, what we're going to do is we're going to install a software called Fail2Bar. Thank you very much for watching this training. Hoping to see you in my next video. Bye bye.